So hello and welcome to another episode of Greg's Library. In today's episode we look at a very special book, and that is?
That is The Ruhrgebiet from Ulrich Mack.
What is special about this particular book?
This particular book is not only a book, it is a very limited edition of 400 books, and every book is a collection of original prints. Mm-hmm. And these prints have been created in a very special procedure called Skia, and that makes it very unique and exclusive.
What is the Skia process exactly?
The Skia process was invented by Dieter Kirchner, who was, as a fine art printer, looking for the absolute black, combined with a higher tonal range as you can get it in a classical silver halogenide print. And the deepest black that we can get in a silver halogenide print is limited to D 2.8, 2.7.
And that was not enough for him.
That was not enough for him because he said black is D 3.0, perhaps D 3.1. And he was working very hard, experimenting, spending lots of time and effort until he finally came to this printing process, which we know now since I think 2006 as the Skia process. It needs special printing machines. Here it is the Heidelberger XL 105 or 162 special printing machines, which are standardized. And so you see, and every print is done with several scans that overlap. So you have several steps of printing, and all this effort provides extremely high tonal range with difference in ranging from 0 to 1%. So it's a very low failure. And so you get reproducible prints in an extraordinary quality, which was never seen before.
Now I'm curious.
And special is that the scans which are used for the printing process are destroyed after finalizing the printing process. After you have your 400 books or whatever, 400 prints, the scans are destroyed.
Okay, so what about the book itself? Now that we understand the printing process, who was Ulrich Mack and why is the book called Ruhrgebiet? What is it all about?
Ulrich Mack was in his final activity professor for visual communication at the very famous Volkwang School in Essen. He was a self-made photographer, and he was working a lifetime with Leica cameras. So I think he was also a teacher for Leica photography. And as a young guy of 17, he worked as a miner just in the Ruhrgebiet. Not looking for adventure, but at this time when he grew up, just after World War II, it was a necessity to survive. So he took the job that provided him most of income. The job was dangerous, but it was quite well paid at this time. And then he came back to Hamburg, where he came from. And in 1959, he did this journey in his luggage, a bicycle, to Leica cameras. I assume it's been screw mount Leicas. Only a few films, because he didn't have much money. So he was limited also in his equipment. And then he drove down to the Ruhrgebiet and made this journey with his bicycle and taking this extraordinary pictures.
So now I'm really curious. So we have a 25-year-old man basically doing a personal project and exploring the Ruhrgebiet again with his camera to school his eyes, probably.
Yeah, to school his eyes. He says he did it to school his eyes. He described himself as pale and strictly, and he just started with photography, and this was a personal project, a training project for him. And very late, this work gets the respect
and the recognition.
Yeah.
So let's take a closer look at some of the images.
So
and open up the beautiful book.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It's amazing artwork. Amazing artwork from the print house, from the printer. Amazing artwork from Ulrich Mack. This is version 128 from 400.
So it's a limited edition.
It's a limited edition.
Limited to 400.
Here you can see 400. Personally signed by Ulrich Mack.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, a short description in German and English.
Mm-hmm. Good for our viewers.
About the history behind and how this book was made. And here you see it with the first image. These are prints made from a 35mm negative, and you have 30 centimeters to 45 centimeters. And the only thing you can see is a slight touch of grain, but the images are pin sharp, and you have this extremely high tonal range here.
Incredible.
You have this paper quality. It's absolutely unique.
The print really brings the images to life. If you look at the little elements here, the details.
It is when you watch to this print, it's like doing a journey to another era, and it's a time lapse.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe that it's all coming out of these very small negatives, and blown up like this.
Here, especially in this image, here you see this is pitch black.
Yeah,
this is black, and although you have here the absolutely black, and here slight turning to white, you don't have any missing in the shadows. You have well-defined shadows here.
All the details. And even the highlights are not blown out here, so you have an incredible dynamic range in one image.
And this book was an inspiration for me to do a journey too, with an analog camera and some black and white film, and I can recommend it to everybody who has the opportunity to come to the Ruhrgebiet. You can still see some of these signs of industrial culture because they are a museum today.
So of course it doesn't look like this anymore.
Yeah, like the Zeche Zollverein, for example, very recommendable to make a tour there, a guided tour, and it helped me to understand much more about this time and about the meaning of this area for the industrial development after World War II. Also with the negative aspects that came from that. And in 1959, when Ulrich Mack made this journey, there were the first signs of a Ruhr crisis and coal crisis.
Obviously,
And so it's very, very impressive.
So you have a beautiful book that basically lets you travel back in time to 1959 to a certain area in a special era. Is the book still available? How does that work?
The book is still available, only a few of them. You can get it at Lindemann's bookshop in Stuttgart.
Yeah, we try to provide a link in the description.
Yeah, we try to provide a link in the description, and it's a beautiful piece of artwork, and it's a must-have for everybody who loves black and white photography. I will give it away never ever. So this keeps in my bookstore.
Okay.
For all the times.
Yeah. Sounds great. So we hope you enjoyed this little glimpse at a very special book, at a limited edition of Ruhrgebiet of Ulrich Mack. If you like this episode, please remember to like it and maybe even share it with your friends. And if you want to see more videos like this, please also let us know in the comment section below. And of course, subscribe to our channel. Jules, Greg and I, we really appreciate each and every subscriber coming our way. So thanks for watching. We hope to see you soon. Bye.